Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird, T. Michelle Birdsong, Eve Mother of the Earth in New York City. I had a startling realization today. As a child, I was taught, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. In other words, thou shalt not lie. But when I was 16 years old, I ran away from home because my mother, who drank a lot, was not coming home. She was staying in a trailer park with her boyfriend, Sergeant Sims. My sister was pregnant, so there was no home to speak of. There was no father present in the home. So I ran away from home. Also because I was worried about my mother dying, and I didn't think I'd be able to handle her dying. So I didn't want to be around when she died. I figured she was going to die soon. Uh, all right, so I ran away from home, went to Chicago. Then I was staying with the man who was raised as my mother's brother and his wife, Skippy Allen Wright. And the man from the Veterans Administration came there to question me because my mother was receiving a check from the Veterans Administration from the man she said was my father and who was my father on my birth certificate, Kenneth Anderson. So the man from the Veterans Administration asked me if my mother was sending me the money from the check. And I said yes, because I wanted my mother to be able to continue to get the check because she was poor. And since I was 6 years old, I had wanted to get money for her. And I hadn't been able to do it. Like Stevie Wonder had been able to get money for his mother at 12 years old. I felt like such a failure because I hadn't been able to do that. So I told this lie. All right, so this was 1961. And then in about 1983, my mother was dying in the hospital, and my sister Helen asked me to conference with the doctor because she was afraid or she was squeamish or whatever reason. So I did, and the doctor told me my mother that they had opened her up to operate on her, but her organs were like a 70-year-old woman. She was 54 years old, so there was nothing they could do. And then when in my mother's hospital room, she was kind of unconscious. And then one day she woke up and she sat up abruptly. And I did some talk and share. Are you afraid, Mama? And the fear left her eyes, and she lay down, and soon she was dead. Okay, fast forward to the 1960s and 70s. My master, Charan Singh, who was Jesus Christ, was visiting the UK. And he was in a restaurant talking to somebody. He asked for coffee or tea, but whoever was sitting near him was drinking beer. Now, of course, Jesus Christ doesn't drink beer. But anyway, the man got called away, and the waiter came over and presented the check to Charan Singh. And he sat there waiting and waiting for about 40 minutes for the guy to come back and pay for his beer. But he didn't do it, so Charan Singh wound up paying for his beer. So he realized, he was thinking about it later, and he said, am I responsible for the man drinking the beer? And so he concluded, yes, I'm responsible. So then today I was thinking about it, because Charan Singh, Jesus Christ, was a mirror. You know, he mirrored us, and he said, now I understand how you feel. You know, you get yourself in situations like this. I understand. So then I said, did I get myself in a situation like this? Am I responsible for somebody's drinking beer? And that's when it hit me. I was responsible for my mother drinking beer because I empowered her by having the Veterans Administration continue to send her money. And what did she do with her money but buy beer? You see? So I learned that if you lie, bad things happen. I didn't know that at 16 years old. I thought, with my simplistic thought, that I was doing something magnanimous and noble for my mother, when all I was doing was hastening her death. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to tell you? So even though you don't know how it happens, just know if you lie, something bad is going to happen. I was actually responsible for my God's death because my mother was my God. Imagine how I feel. And yet, I'm going to have to forgive myself. Wow. I'm learning how significant, how important, how meaningful the commandments were and are, and relevant. The Ten Commandments is given to Moses and printed in the Bible and taught to us. The moral laws, God's laws, have profound ramifications. So, this is what I have learned. And thank you for letting me share it with you.